Yo, I cannot wait so we can go to YouTube because Instagram be tripping. It just cut me off for no reason. That was your boy Michael chiming in. Hopefully he'll come back on. Everybody come back on in, come back on in. I'm gonna wait on everybody for a little bit. Instagram keeps jamming me up with the music, even though I put the copyright tag in the comments. I'm not understanding. I might have to do a little research on what their new rules might be now, what you gotta, tag and everything. So, welcome back, everybody. Like I was saying, happy Thursday. It is almost the weekend. We are almost there. Looks like I got my co-host chiming in with me tonight. Hey, Charmaine. So yeah, we got some good topics to talk about tonight. Of course. Hey, Ken.
What's going on?
What's up? Michael was just on here. Michael was just on here, and then I lost him because Instagram tripping.
I saw because the live be happening in all types of weird.
Right.
So when I joined, it made me feel like I was watching it live, but I wasn't. And so then you guys hopped off. I was mad confused. Hey, Barry.
Hey, Barry, boo. Hey, Barry. It's been a minute. Hey, Charmaine, baby. It's because I was trying to play. I know y'all know. I don't know if all y'all know, but y'all know I like me some Kendrick.
Here we go. Oh yeah. Okay. My coworker was telling me about the album just recently.
Oh my!
You gotta listen to the album so we can talk about it.
Yes. All right. Oh my God!
Yeah.
So much stuff that he says. If y'all do not have that Kendrick album, let me see what it's called. It's like a long title. Oops, that's not it. I think it's called. Hold on, let me see what it's called. I want to look this up for y'all real quick. Hold tight. It's called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's what it's called. Kendrick probably has some type of backstory behind it. But the album, if anybody's a hip hop fan that listens, that's in the chat or that, vibes to our show, go check that album out.
Listen to it tonight.
Yes. He taps into everything that's going on nowadays, even domestic violence. He did a little skit that goes into a song kind of about how relationships are so toxic these days.
Oh, wow.
Kind of even going into his own backstory where I guess allegedly he cheated on his fiance and just the whole his own demons and things that he battles. He even has a song up there about his aunt. I believe this is correct. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's a revelation where his aunt, I think he was close with his aunt, but she is, I think she's transitioning. If I'm not, and then the song he's talking about his aunt going through a transition because he keeps saying that she's a man now, something like that, and just different identification and how he dealt with it, and then what his aunt kind of went through on the outside of the different changes and how people were trying to say that it was a fake.
I'm excited.
Yes, he is. Hey, Michael, sorry we got disconnected earlier. It was Instagram. It was not me. If you can come back on, please do. But yeah, the album is amazing. I was trying to play a song up there for you guys to check out. But yeah, if y'all get a chance, iTunes, Spotify, however you can get that, please check that album out. He's really talking about some conscious stuff up there. So if you're into conscious rap too, and the beats are fire too.
That's what we need.
Yes.
We need conscious rap. What's going on?
What's up? I was about to say.
The only one of us out here
if you do that again, I'm gonna tell my father.
Sorry.
We
all here. What's up, Ken?
What's
up,
on,
y'all?
Mike?
Hi, my boos are here.
Yeah. I don't know how much time I have on here because I'm still at work, unfortunately. So yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody misses you. They're saying in the chat, hi,
What's up, Barrett?
Yeah, I was telling Kenyatta about Kendrick Lamar's new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Oh,
And
you
Oh,
listened
don't tell
to
me,
it?
like, I haven't listened to it yet, but I can't wait. Like,
oh my God,
I heard
I
nothing
y'all.
but
haven't
good
either.
shit.
If
So
anything, we should definitely do a review on it.
Oh my God, I would love to. I
yeah,
mean, oh my gosh, you guys, it's an amazing album. I
Good.
was just telling Ken that he's talking about so many dynamics that we are actually dealing with today, even kind of intertwining his own battles with the same things that we dealing with. He even talks about like, the different communities from LGBTQ plus that's relatable to a family member in his family. He talks about like domestic violence and toxic relationships. He talks, I think, in one of the song that I was just playing called Savior, I think he was kind of talking about kind of like idolizing celebrities and how they're just people, and how they go through their own different. It's just deep. It's a real good album, yeah. So everybody, check that Kendrick
And I'm
Lamar
gonna
album
take a
out.
moment because I want to be able to shout out you, Christina, and well, all of us, but you specifically, Christina, just because I feel like every single thing that we have touched on in the past 13 weeks,
Yeah.
has been incredibly poignant. I feel like we've seen it time and time again show up in further current events, and so
Yes.
I appreciate that you choosing the right things for us to be able to talk about,
Of course.
because we are talking about things that are currently changing our society as well.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Oh, well, thank you, Ken. I
yeah,
try my best to try to keep everybody up on everything that's going on, and you guys are awesome too because you guys are constantly sending me stuff. And some of the people that watch the live, they send me stuff in the podcast DMs or like if they're friends with me on Facebook since my personal account is still hacked.
oh yeah, see,
Yeah, if anybody is I've got people hit me up from high school, like Christina. You sell bitcoins? I'm like, no.
damn,
hey yo,
you in on that
Christina.
cryptocurrency?
Hey yo, Christina. I was just thinking about when you told me that your shit got hacked. I was just thinking like, damn, like those dudes must have been so disappointed. Like they went to your shit and they're all like, God damn, this girl, she don't got no nudes. Fuck, man.
Right.
Yeah, if anybody is getting any messages from those hackers from my personal account, which is Shantae Moy, that is not me. Let me, first of all, Instagram, y'all don't need to be cutting off nobody lives because y'all don't got no good customer support at all. Like there is no call center. There's nobody you can call.
Yeah.
You literally got to do like selfie videos. I've done like 13 of those videos.
This is a warning to everyone who's watching, specifically. Yeah. Do your two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Make sure that your profile is set up security-wise, just because they getting folks. In the same week that they got you, Christina, they got my friend that I work with.
Dang.
And I hear it constantly that is popping up with this Bitcoin, this currency. You see it ever so often. I'm getting a message here and there, but I actually know people who are getting hacked. So
yes, guys, be careful. Yes, and yeah, if you've got an active, my account was active. I was always up there posting stuff. So if you have an active account, that's how they really gonna get you because they posed as somebody that I knew, and I thought it was somebody. Yeah, and they got me. But just be careful out there. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. So we got a good show. Not too many topics tonight. Hopefully, we try to keep this one. We try to end this one at least by 11:15 if we can.
Yeah, I got a headache.
Yeah, and I had a rough night last night. I've been up since 5:30, y'all. 5:30. Yes. My dog was throwing up and shitting. Yes.
That's the content we want to hear.
I said, just to put a little humor in your lives.
Yeah.
Not just shitting, but throwing up too. Fuck,
yeah.
the hell
it was. It was.
I got 3 openings. Damn.
Yo, it's terrible. Bro, it was terrible, bro. And I had the carpet clean, so it was like, oh, he's slumped right now. But yeah, I've been up cleaning, and it was just a long day. Then I had to work. Then my kids be acting crazy, don't want to go to school. So it was just a long day. So, but I like doing the show, and I just want to, get us through all the topics and get everything out, and then hopefully everybody can have a somewhat of an early night.
Yes.
Well, you
All
can tell
right.
that I love the show. Like, I'm trying to do this shit while I'm still at the job. I'm like,
Yeah,
waiting
Michael's
for
on the
like my
job.
client to come and shit. And, like,
If you gotta go, we got you. We know you on. You know what I'm saying?
that's
You
all I'm
popping in
waiting
on
for. I'm
us.
waiting for like some rich white person to come knock on my door. Like, what are you doing, nigga? Like, oh, sorry.
Be aware, because there's a lot of that going on.
Right. What y'all talking about? Is this a black caucus? What's going on here? What are y'all smoking?
What the hell are you doing in a suit? You don't fool me, Negro.
You don't fool me, Negro. Hell no. That's
I
the
don't wear
truth, though.
those often.
What's the scoop? What do you really got going on, scammer? No, but yeah. Okay, but with that being said, the first topic that we're going to talk about tonight, you guys, is the main topic that has been going on this whole week, trending like crazy heavy, was the Buffalo shooting that happened in New York, in Buffalo, New York, the mass shooting that killed 10 people and I think injured 3, allegedly, I believe.
Yes.
Hold on just a second. What was that? There was some weird noise going on outside. Sorry, you guys. Okay. So yeah, that's what's been trending really heavy this week. They are calling it a white supremacy act. The gentleman also, if I'm not mistaken, he filmed it on Twitch while it was occurring.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually going to read an article that I pulled up, I believe, by, let me get there. So it's WHRV news article. So I'm just going to read a little bit to you guys so I can get the details correct. Mm-hmm. So I did not know he was this young. He was 18 years old.
18 years old, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? Like, you're not even, anyways, 18 years old gunman allegedly carried out a racist attack at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York on Saturday, killing 10 people, and injuring 3 others, according to authorities. Almost all of the victims were Black, and the suspect who live streamed the mass shooting is believed to be the author of a screed posted online detailing his white supremacist ideologies and his plan to target Black communities in New York.
Yes.
So the shooter is facing life in prison. The suspect has been charged with the first-degree murder. So if he is convicted, he would face a maximum sentence of life without parole. Officials have said that they're investigating the mass shooting as a racially motivated hate crime and are also considering a terrorism charge. Ooh. Separately, the FBI is investigating the shooting as both a hate crime and racially motivated violent extremism. The evidence we have uncovered so far makes no mistake. This is an absolute racist hate crime that will be prosecuted as a hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind, said Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramagila, if I'm saying that correctly. So it seems, yeah, I'm not sure if I said that. This shooting happened at the Top supermarket in Buffalo, New York. 11 of the 13 victims are Black.
Yeah.
They said even before Buffalo police released the names of the victims, loved ones were sharing details about those who were killed in the shooting. Of the 13 people who were shot, 11 were Black, 2 were white, 4 of the victims were store employees, and some of the victims actively worked to serve their community. And then they just have a list of the people that died, which it seemed as though it was a good amount of elderly people. The police say the attack unfolded 200 miles from the small hometown of Conklin, New York. and he arrived in East Buffalo the day before the attack conducted Renaissance on the grocery store, the police said. The shooting at Tops Friendly Markets began on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. So this happened in the afternoon, you guys, not at night. And in a parking lot outside the store located in a predominantly black neighborhood about 3 miles from downtown. The first police officers arrived 1 minute later on Sunday. The gunman stepped out of his car wearing tactical gear and opened fire with an assault-style rifle, shooting 4 people, officials said. 3 of those people died, and after the gunman worked his way into the store, the security guard, Aaron Salter, attempted to stop the shooter by firing his gun, but the gunman's body armor shielded him from the bullet. The suspect then shot and killed the security officer, you guys.
Yeah.
He had body armor on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came ready. The suspect was eventually confronted by police at the front of the store. He briefly pointed the rifle at his neck before police persuaded him to drop his guns and surrender. The gunman did live stream the attack on the platform Twitch. The stream was shut down less than 2 minutes after the violence began, the company said, which is Twitch. So that's pretty intense. He was extremely young. I'm wondering what terrorist ideologies or white supremacist ideologies are obviously being taught to him.
Well, so
if he had a toy gun, the police would have shot him instead of arresting him. No, wait, maybe if he had a cell phone, the police would have shot him instead of arresting him. Yeah, that's what I think.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
I just don't understand. Like, why would you want to arrest? Like, you should just shoot someone, with like,
or at least
an assault rifle,
something.
Like,
a wound, or knock him in the shoulder, something.
Yeah, and there's nothing. Right? It's kind of like, holy shit, he has an assault rifle. It's okay, guys, he's white. Freeze! Hey, shoot this motherfucker! Like, what are we doing? Like, what?
For real.
You're right, though. I mean, I'm just
wow.
What disturbs me is
I'm disturbed.
First of all, what kind of time do you have on your hands? Like they said, he clearly has hate in his heart and in his soul, because for you to mastermind a plot to kill people, black, white, Asian, at this point, I don't even care what race you are. But just the fact that someone of that young of an age has the time, has nothing else going on, to plot to kill people because he has a prejudice against a culture of people or community of people. I just don't understand where this is coming from. I'm just so lost. I'm confused by it. And then the fact that you can't even, now it's like, now you got to be aware even in your own area. You got to be aware of your surroundings in your own community where predominantly black people are at. You probably feel safe. You don't really think too many white people are going to step in that area because it is a predominantly black area. But now you got to be worried about if you're going to be attacked in your own communities, in your own areas. It's crazy. It reminds me of the stuff that happened when, like, what's the bombing that happened? Was it in Oklahoma? And it was a community. It was a community of black people with doctors and doctors' offices and pharmacies and their own businesses, and they bombed it. Oh my God, they did a documentary on it. Oh my God.
To your point, Charmaine, when you say when they caught him, they treated him like he just stole a goddamn candy bar.
Right.
I disagree. I think that they treated him like he was white.
Yeah.
Because we've had situations where people have had something as small as a candy bar or Skittles or Arizona tea.
Right. Right.
Just recently, they arrested an 8-year-old for stealing Doritos
out of a corner store.
Out of a store. Didn't know if he stole it for real, but they arrested him, put him in handcuffs at 8 years old.
Right, and then didn't, like he said, didn't hesitate, put him in handcuffs, was being pretty aggressive with him, and he was a child.
didn't give him a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Didn't reprimand him or anything, but they handcuffed him.
And didn't even try to just teach him something. Take him to the side and say, look, do you know what'll happen if you steal? Like, that's what I feel like the police officers are really supposed to be for.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just feeling so militant on the streets all the time and you got to shoot and just be all like you see in the fucking movies and shit. Like, I feel like they also are put in a position to teach too. Especially to the younger youth that's, getting in trouble and doing things just because of maybe the crowd that they're hanging out with, or they just don't know any better. They don't have parents to teach them. I feel like that's what they should be there for that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
also go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say you're right. They should,
Right.
they should be doing a lot of shit that they should not be doing. Like how they should be upholding the law and not making it seem like they are the law, because that's part of their job. But
Yes.
I mean, listen, I think for the past, how long has YouTube been out now?
Shit, who knows?
Listen, I've seen police do all types of crazy shit. I still remember when they did this to a white guy. It was in Vegas where like some Las Vegas hotel got a call about like some guy doing some mysterious stuff. I think it was like a window cleaner. Him and his wife were like a window cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
The wife stayed out in the room, and they had to squat him in the hallway. And the shit that they made him do was absolutely ridiculous. They were giving him all these directions like, all right, get down on the ground, put your hands behind your head, but touch your feet. Like just like weird shit like that. It's like, now crawl to me. Wait, stop moving. But crawl, like, yeah, like you can look up this
power
video.
control.
Yeah, and it was just ridiculous. And it got to the point where like this dude, I think he actually pissed his pants because he was so scared. But they ended up shooting him but they ended up shooting him anyway. Yeah, like they killed this man in cold blood. And this was a white guy. So it's like, I mean, obviously, yeah, like us being, like black men and black women, like we're like an automatic like target on our backs. But I've seen police officers like treat their own fucking people with disrespect just because like they'll call them out on shit. Like, have y'all seen that one video where it was this white police officer like strangled this black female police officer because she was telling him like, hey, like I think he started like beating up like this one black kid, like being like very aggressive with him, and then the black female police officer came over to him and said like, yo, hey, like chill out. Dude turned around and started choking on her. So it's like, yeah, man, like, yeah, this is like that video popped up maybe about a week or 2 weeks ago.
They gotta do better, man. You guys with this whole police academy shit, y'all gotta start doing better evaluations on people's psyche, because I feel like they just be recruiting anybody to be a police officer.
I also think, why are we not like? I was recently watching Judge Mathis, and it was this whole situation. It was something that he said that was so incredibly poignant about tough love, and he was saying, "You showing him so much toughness, but where is the love at?"
Right.
So when we're talking about these police officers who are policing the city or policing the community, it's like, where is the love at? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly where's the?
Why are you not trying to help the community? Why are you so hell-bound on trying to eradicate or hurt or certain things like that? And I think about certain situations like, how do we recruit police enforcement just as well? Like, how do we recruit that? Like, do we outsource outside of the city, and then they come into a particular city that is not theirs, that they don't care anything about, or the people who inhabit that community, and then they destroy it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
you're right.
Back home
to their families,
to their families who live on the outskirts of wherever they're policing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
exactly.
Like, in certain situations like that, but not to take away from this particular situation where this young boy I mean, he's a boy.
Right. Literally.
At 18 years old. I mean, thank goodness he won't be.
Teen.
Thank goodness that he won't be tried as a boy, but he'll be tried as an adult.
Little doll. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But him being 18 years old and him coming across recently, because I read up on it, and it says that he came across what is called Secrete, right? Screed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Which is a like a full-on document that makes a strong statement, right? And in this particular document, it was anti-black, it was hate, it was.
Where do they get this stuff? I'm not.
People write it. People write it. It's 180 pages.
So do these people just come up with their own theories?
Well, it's called. Well, they
a lot of them get it from the Bible too, apparently.
Of what is called the Great Replacement, right?
Wow.
In an attempt to justify his plan to target and murder African Americans. Now, where the system failed completely was that this was not the first time that this young man was attempting to commit a hate crime.
Really?
Oh yeah. So it says here, I'm on NPR.com.
Okay.
That Peyton Gendron had threatened a shooting at his high school last year.
Oh my God.
And he was subsequently sent to a hospital for a mental health evaluation that lasted a day and a half.
Oh, damn. Well, no damn wonder. Lord have mercy.
A day and a half. So if
that's not enough time.
If we're talking about last year where he was planning on shooting his own high school, that means he was 17.
Right.
So they thought something was wrong with him then. So they put him in a mental hospital where he probably said some shit and was like, oh no, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm very much here.
Right.
And so they let him go after a day and a half, and he plotted after he's no longer in school. Now he's plotting for something even bigger, which is a supermarket that is outside of where he lives. He doesn't live in Buffalo.
That's what they said. He traveled. He's specifically targeting black, predominantly black neighborhoods and communities.
Oh, it was premeditated. Everything was completely. He had been planning this for well over a year's time, because after he didn't get away with the high school genocide, he said, "I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm gonna do it." Go ahead, Michael.
See, this is what, I don't want to go into this topic, stay on this, but this is one of the things when it comes to mental health and how I feel like people, and don't get me wrong, obviously we all have something mentally up here,
right. We've all been through some trauma.
Crazy. Yeah. Everyone has something mental that's going on with them, but I really hate it to where people they weaponize it. They use it to a point to get out of a situation.
Oh, me too. I hate that.
Use that as a tactic, for their own benefit. Taking case like this point with this kid, he wrote some letter saying that he already planned on shooting up his school a year prior. They called him, before you could do the act, and said oh yeah, man, I'm just mentally not together, oh, you poor kid. Why don't we show him some love and care and have him in a mental institution? He'll be fine by then.
Right.
What do you say, Jimmy? How about that? Yeah, that's a good idea. A year later, he gets out and he kills 10 fucking people. You know what I'm saying? It's
so you guys are basically saying it's a front.
Huh? No,
it's a front.
A lot of people use it as a front. Obviously, no, not everyone's going to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying in this case that it was used as a front, because by no means did I think that they were trying to determine
if it
or they were
was
trying to evaluate him as far as like a mental health evaluation in general would be a psychiatrist sitting down with you regardless,
right.
trying to figure out what is going on and why do you feel this way.
But do you
Right.
think sometimes, like he's saying, Mike was saying, do you think sometimes people will play crazy, but really they're not crazy? They're just hate.
evil. Like some people are
Exactly.
just fucking evil.
Like they're
You know,
they're just
there's like
wicked.
there's no fixing, there's no
Right.
caring. There's just
Right.
some people that are just so fucking evil. It's not taught. You know, there's no lessons
Right.
learned. Some people are just evil as fuck.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's no helping it. You know,
Right.
what a good example
It,
can I give you? Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are
There
just
you
born
go.
fucking evil. You
There
know?
you go. There you go. That's really true though. That's what she said. His family is saying at this time, at all this happened due to his complications with the pandemic.
oh no, fuck
How? That's the
Wow.
that would be something that they would use too, Charmaine. That is a horrible excuse for his parents to use. Oh
Hey, but
my God!
people will believe
Everybody
it
and
though.
their mom is having complications. Fuck
But people
the
will believe it.
pandemic,
People
huh?
will believe it, and it will work.
You're right. You're right because a lot of people have been using the pandemic for mental destruction the past couple years.
It says here as well, a couple of years ago, back in 2019, that this is crazy. The Screed's author that we were talking about, that 180-page document,
Yeah.
who has the same name as the suspected shooter, says extreme boredom during the pandemic led to his radicalization. The gunman who carried out the massacre of 51 people
Jesus Christ.
at 2 New Zealand mosques in 2019 promoted the same racist theory.
Oh, okay. I remember that, yeah.
So he's like, okay.
So there are people who are reading this 180-page document who are taking it to heart and trying to eradicate Black people wherever they can.
It sounds like some cult type shit, right?
Oh,
like,
I mean, well, we do have the KKK, so. I mean, they've been here since forever, so. I mean, they're not that new.
No, they've been around. They've been around. I wouldn't be surprised if they was behind this. We call them white supremacists now.
Hey,
they have a new name. They have a new name.
They got a new name. They new name shouted.
Right.
Actually, hey, some even call them the cops, but you know.
I was just about to say that.
Politicians.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's been that community that I was talking about. It happened in Philadelphia, I believe 36 years ago, where it was a Black community that was building up and thriving, and the government, quote unquote, came and literally dropped bombs on the community. Wiped the whole community out. If you guys start watching Atlanta, whenever y'all get a chance, they even did an episode. I think it was like the first episode where they're in this lake. I think it's Lake Lanier. Do you know Lake Lanier, Michael and Georgia? And Georgia. Ooh, the southern came out. The southern came out.
What? They all speak like that where you from?
Sounded like you was taught fully at home.
You heard of that Lake Mike in Georgia?
And then we out here talking about taking books out of schools, history books out of schools. We got people out here pronouncing Georgia. No. Let's not do it.
That's a southern thing. I don't know how that came. Yo, that literally just flipped out.
Yup. That's VA.
I'm saying, Christina, what the hell? Like, finish your drink. What are you?
Georgia.
I can't, yo.
Yo, oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all.
It's
Hey,
great.
girl, don't be talking with your mouth full. That's rude.
Great.
Now remember, I've been up since 5:30. No, but I'm
That's
sorry
true.
that
That's true.
I do got a Southern background, and I did live in Georgia for a little while, but I don't know why that came out like that. Woo! Back on down in Georgia.
Right. Sorry about that, y'all. We educated.
Anyways, like I was saying, there's an episode.
I'm sorry. How you said that? I thought you were from B-more. So that's how they talk about.
I don't know why I slipped out like that. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry. Go
But
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
anyways, there's an episode. It's on the 3rd season of Atlanta. If y'all, that's another thing. If you guys like conscious shows, like woke type shows, subliminal messages with a little bit of comedy in there, but like, you know, it's a really, really good show, Atlanta. I watched the first 2 seasons. The 3rd season is just now on. It's really, really good. Check it out if you want to check it out. But the first episode on season 3 has a little history lesson in there where it's a black guy and a white guy, and they're like fishing at night.
Yeah.
And it's a little creepy at first. They
It's
kind of
very
go into,
creepy.
yeah, and then they talk about how a lot of these lakes, and even in New York, Central Park. I didn't even know this. There's a chick that's on the Peacock, the Peacock app. She has her own nighttime show. I don't remember her name, but she's a black girl.
Amber Ruffin.
Yes, I've watched some of her stuff. She's pretty good. She actually did a whole segment. You guys can look her up on YouTube. What's her name again, Ken?
Amber Ruffin.
Amber Ruffin. She has a YouTube channel too. She did a whole segment talking about, yeah, she's really, really well educated with black communities and a lot of history and stuff. But she did a segment too about some of the lakes and things that are like in the South. And she even mentioned Central Park in New York actually used to be black communities, like back in the day. And every time a black community would start building up and start thriving, the government would find some type of way to wipe it out or move other businesses and properties in and promise them like, hey, we'll put you guys over here, or we'll give you free vouchers and da-da-da-da-da. And then it would be nothing. And they would completely, you know, wipe them out of their communities. They'd be either left homeless or whatever, they move into the projects or the hood, or they give them vouchers, but it would be in low income areas. Lake Lanier is also a place in Georgia that's now a lake that was completely wiped out by white supremacists. That it used to be a black community, I think back in the, I'm not sure, don't quote me. I think it was late 50s or 60s, and they completely wiped the community out, killed all the black people, all the women and children. And I think
about Tulsa.
No, not Tulsa. In Georgia, Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier used to be a black community that was wiped out too. There's what's her name? Amber Ruffin. She did a whole segment. If you type in black communities that were wiped out or something like that and then put her name, she did a whole segment of, there was a whole bunch of places, you guys, that are like lakes now, like famous lake areas or parks and stuff that were back in the day when a lot of civil rights and stuff, things like that were going on, were black communities that were completely wiped out.
Yes.
So I didn't even know that. I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff about our history that we don't know. Like, I did not know that there were so many communities, black communities, that actually did try to build within their own and stay within their own, and it would always get demolished. So
yeah, I mean, back in the 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
There was the Tulsa Race Massacre.
That's what I was talking about.
And then
Black Wall Street.
Back in
Yes,
Rosewood,
that's what it was called, Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, yes.
Yes.
And then in 1923, there was the Rosewood Massacre.
Yes.
It was also another situation where it was the destruction of
right.
black-owned businesses as well as killing black folks. There's,
wipe them out.
I mean, they've been documenting it for a while. They've been making movies about it for a while.
Yeah, like why don't they teach this stuff though? Like I think they should teach this stuff. Like, I mean, I know it sounds crazy.
Because everyone's afraid of race,
right?
And everyone
accountability, accountability.
Yes, everyone's afraid to face it head on. It also goes back to that story that you sent me recently of the woman suing her school because her biracial son, he came back home after being taught parts of critical race theory. And then now he's saying that he won't do his chores and certain stuff like that. And then that in itself made me understand, like, okay, she might be white then. Like, she's the white parent.
Right.
Because now he's feeling as though, like, you can't tell me nothing. And he's in 8th grade.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's just, I feel like I don't understand. What is it? Are we cursed or something? Like, it's like this has been going on for so long. Like, I don't understand why black people are the most targeted, the most hated, but also the most influential, the most imitated, the most innovated. Right? It's like so confusing and frustrating.
Well, they've been stealing our shit for a very long time. They've been stealing our ability to build, to do anything, to everything. They don't want us to rise to power. And I don't want to say it all.
Right. Yeah, not all, of course. We're talking about that certain group. Y'all know what group we're talking about, because they don't give a fuck about y'all neither.
White supremacy. White supremacy.
Right.
In general, it makes me emotional just because I feel like we've been dealing with it since I was able to understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was aware of it.
Right.
Even before I've ever experienced it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's frustrating to have to read about people who are killing specifically because of your differences.
Exactly.
Specifically because of
something you can't. Yeah, you can't change.
You can't change at all, and it's disheartening and it's frustrating, and it's like it makes you truly, truly afraid to step outside of your door because you don't know what's gonna happen next.
Right.
It makes you afraid to have children.
Right. Ellen.
It's like we say constantly that we should, we must be proud. You know what I mean? Right. We have to step outside and we have to live our lives regardless. You know what I mean? But nobody wants a life lost. Nobody wants to have to come home and hear that something has happened to their family.
Exactly.
Before their time. You know what I mean? And so for people to inflict that on other people, it's frustrating, and it's mind-boggling. Just because we all bleed the same. We're all human. We all have 2 legs. We all have 2 arms. You know what I mean? Like, not all of us, but
no, we know where you're going with that.
You know what I mean? Like, we're all human. And I don't get hate. I don't get it
either. I don't get it either. To sit there and really mastermind, I'm gonna kill some black people today. It's just like
it's so incredibly frustrating, and
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to put a damper on, on things tonight with this topic, but it seems like when COVID was going on, a lot of this stuff kind of died down. And now that COVID's not being so much talked about, it seems like it's being forefronted again. And, you know, of course, our hearts go out to those families that lost family members or loved ones that day in Buffalo, New York at that store. Prayers be to you and yours. It's really unfortunate. You know, I think that we just need to be aware. We just need to be paying attention to what's going on in the world, period. Black people, you are always and forever will be a target. Don't get too comfortable. I just want to put it that way. It seems like it's getting worse. They don't even care about your kids at this point. There's little kids getting shot, like 6-year-olds getting shot by, you know, people that don't like black people, period. Whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you're a woman, you're a man. So I just think, you know, this is a critical time where, especially with these gun laws and all these different laws that they're trying to change and switch around, I just think that everybody just really needs to just be aware when you're going out, your surroundings. People aren't doing stuff just at night. They're attacking you in broad daylight. Mm-hmm. So please, everybody, just be careful.
And before we move on, I definitely want to touch on the 10 people who were killed.
Okay.
I just want to say their names, and then we can move on. But
go ahead. Yes, please.
Aaron Salter, Ruth Whitfield, Catherine Cat Massey, Pearlie Young, Hayward Patterson, Celestine Cheney, Roberta Jury, and Margus Morrison, Andre Magnol, and Geraldine Talley. And the 3 people who were wounded is Zaire Goodman, Jennifer Warrington, and Christopher Brayton. I want to say us here at the Mic is Hot Live. We send our
deepest condolences to you and yours.
Condolences and regrets to each and every one of their families. To have to go through that and
right.
That your loved one is lost because of a hate crime.
Right.
We apologize.
And our hearts go out to everyone out there that's ever lost anyone to a hate crime. Just like I said, keep your family and your friends and your loved ones close and dear to you, and just be mindful of where you're, you know, what's going on now in the world. Things are just different. So yeah, just keep everybody that lost someone in that mass shooting in your prayers. And like I said, once again, our hearts go out to you from the Mic is Hot as well. Okay, so I just wanted to move on to our next topic because we are going to be running out of some time here. Mm-hmm. There was something that I pulled up, an article that I just wanted to briefly touch on. Attorney Ben Crump urges President Joe Biden to pass an anti-Black hate crime bill. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing the family of Ruth Whitfield, who is someone who was one of the victims that was killed, right? Or was she injured?
Ruth Whitfield, I believe, was killed.
Okay, let me see. Yes. Open the app so I can open this article. Let me see. Or maybe you can pull it up for me. For some reason, it's not.
What is it?
It is. What's his name? Oh, come on, Instagram. Don't do this to me. It's an anti-Black hate crime by, I can't remember his name. I had the article pulled up. But if you type that in. Benjamin Crump. Yeah. If you could maybe just read a little bit about that. It won't let me pull the article up. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the anti-hate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I recently saw it just not too long ago about him making a press conference and saying how frustrated he is with how recently, I believe it was last year, that they passed anti-hate Asian hate crime bill.
Oh, I knew it was stemming from something like that.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, yeah, Joe Biden signed it.
Right.
And it felt as though, and Attorney Ben Crump, who I believe was also the attorney for the George Floyd case.
Oh, okay.
Because I recognize him. He feels as though that this is long overdue.
Right, I agree.
It's you have all of these instances where Black people have lost their lives due to hate.
Right.
And yet, and you say that the system is not working against them.
Right.
You say that everyone matters.
Right.
But then you pass this bill, this anti-Asian hate crime bill last year, and we're still begging you to do it in 2022.
And it didn't even take long for them to pass that bill that was just presented like within that time frame too. Like it wasn't a bill that they've been presenting for years and years and years and years.
It's crazy to me that we have to create a bill for a race in general.
Period. I agree. I agree. How crazy does that sound?
That's crazy to me.
Right.
Doesn't sound too crazy for me.
Why not?
When did they pass that anti-lynching bill?
Oh yeah, just what, a year ago?
Yeah. Why did
how long?
And they've been trying to do it
remind me again, like how long they've been lynching Black people?
Shit.
So why are we surprised? Like why is it surprising?
You're right.
I mean,
no, it's frustrating.
Nothing surprises me.
How does it not frustrate you? That's
because
frustrating to hear.
This is Tuesday to me. Like we hear this shit all the fucking time.
And that's the thing, like it's gotten
I'm not saying it's a good thing. There's nothing great about it, but it's like none of this shit surprises me.
You know what's funny? It's like we've gotten so used to it.
That we've gotten used to it is problematic. Is the problem. That's the problem, is that we've had to get used to them just killing us.
It's to the point where Black people will be like, it's to the point where Black people will see that now and be like, oh, I mean, that ain't nothing new. They've been doing that.
It really isn't, because like what is our grandmother and grandfather, what have they gone through? You know, like this was every single day for them. You know what I'm saying? It's
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, we honestly, on some real shit, we really don't have it as hard as they did. We really don't.
We really
it's just
don't.
that we see it more often. That's like the good side of social media, you know what I'm saying, is that we're able to see this shit, we're able to display it, you know what I'm saying, and get it out, to the public. It's like, hey, this is what's happening, you know what I'm saying, specifically to our race of people, like, or to our skin tone of people, you know what I'm saying, like, this is what happening to us, like, all the damn time. But yeah,
you're right though, because
they just had no cameras back then.
That's what my mother would say. She would say, like, "Oh, it's just so new to you guys because you guys have social media and you're able to see it right when it happens." She's like, "This stuff has been going on. It's just so it's sad though that we've gotten so used to being knocked off."
Yeah, we just have to toss it up and being like,
I mean,
okay, well,
it's like,
I mean, what else? I mean,
it's just we're just saying, as far as what you see, it's just like as far as what you see, it's sad because it's happened so much that we've gotten so accustomed to it. Because it's like, if you think about it. We really don't have much of a say-so or control in America.
No.
And I think that's why maybe within our community, we are very passive. because we already know there's only so much that's going to happen. We don't really have no control in anything. And so I think that's why sometimes Black people kind of get like, they just kind of like, well, what can you, like they sit back and take it for what it is. There's only so far we can go. There's only so much we can do. I mean, it would have to take a whole army of us to take down whoever we're trying to take down that's against us.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
good luck
take
with
down
that.
nobody. Part of me is like, like I was saying before, I like fuck Earth.
Yeah, fuck Earth.
Fuck
We going
Earth.
somewhere else.
But more so America, because it's like America
Yes.
does not and never has, like, white supremacy is lined. Like recently, President Biden made the statement that white supremacy is like poison within America.
Right. Oh yeah,
You know what
I got
mean?
that up there. I
And
was
it's
gonna
like,
play that.
it's woven in every single area of our lives, as far as the law enforcement, as far as finances, as far as businesses. Throughout, it is poison surging through America, just like the state lines, just like the highways, all of those things. And it's frustrating to know that, but it's frustrating also to know that us as Black people are somewhat like taking it.
Right.
You know what I mean? We could easily come to terms.
Right.
Like not to say easily, but we could easily, well, yeah, we should come to terms and say, let's get the fuck out of America, because America doesn't care about us.
Yes,
You know
I'm down.
But then everyone starts to make up the excuses,
right?
Why we can't do that, right? Like, I'm
Well,
not
I wouldn't
uprooting
say.
my life, or I'm not to take my kids, or where am I
But
gonna go?
this is like home to us.
But you can't blame people for saying that though, because like a lot of people who did come, like Black people, a lot of Black people that came from Africa to this country would say different. That like they would say that we have it easy over here, and that because they came over here from like the shit that they went through, from whatever country in Africa that they were at, their life is so much better. They're able to provide for themselves, provide for their kids, better education, like all this other stuff. So it's like,
It's like a
someone coming from a
catch-22.
different world, you know what I'm saying, coming over here might see a completely different aspect of what's going on over here from, where they're coming from.
I think sometimes I think sometimes that's a lack of education, just because we think that we know how things are going in Africa. We think no one is ever really truly trying to figure out how they're living over in Africa, because they don't think of that as a possibility.
Well, I mean, like
we just believe
because
all
I
of the
have
things that we've seen
friends.
because of famine and things of those nature and things of that nature. But I feel like they went through that because most of their population was wiped out. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
that's a good point.
I feel like beforehand, before we were taken out of our continent and brought over to America, we were thriving.
Well, yeah, they say that the Africans had their own. We were a lot of the things that were even taught to the Caucasian culture came from Africans and things of that, like just general things, bathing down to like signs how to grow your own crops, food, building things. So I believe that our ancestors who are African already had a community, already had things, already instilled and knew how to maintain a living and maintain life, and we were taken out of that element.
Yeah,
and I think we were taken out of that element for a reason. I think they knew that we had that logic, and they used the labor.
You wonder a lot of the time, like, what is white culture?
For real.
What is it?
it?
What is it? What is it
it?
but like absorbing other cultures?
Culture. Hello, and not to offend anybody, but we do have 13 seconds. It's counted down. When we come back, it's only going to be a couple of topics. It's one relationship topic for the night, mainly politics. So we'll be back in 5, 4, 3.